the fact that we are no longer reverting to what we've been conditioned to do. There is awakening going on around the world, and it is definitely evident in the way we speak, and they find that very difficult. Greetings, greetings, and please do share. Let me bring Lynette in shortly. I hope she'll be joining. I'll bring you in a short while. Just give me a minute. I want to just put this before us in a very. It's really important that we put this up in a light that is will do this justice. You are looking at a picture of Tom Llamas here, and basically, greetings, welcome to those of you on YouTube. I hope you can see me. There is something going on. Okay, we're back. Please do share. Help us grow the platform. Tap on the screen. Tap and share. Give the platform. There is a consciousness. There has been an awakening that has been going on in our communities for a long while. There has been a consistent awakening among us all. You see, in the olden days, many of us, greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. You are listening to Citizen AY. Welcome, those of you on YouTube. As you're joining us, please sign up, give us a thumbs up and share the broadcast. It's slightly cold this evening. Now, I want to talk about this guy. You are looking at the picture of Iran's foreign minister, hashtag Abbas Araghchi. Yes, hashtag. We need to do hashtag Abbas Araghchi. I think I love that name already. I mean, listen, I love that name. Just say it, hashtag Araghchi. Just put the hashtag out there, because for the first time, the veil of the Western media, that veil is gone. Is gone. Sorry, give me a minute, please. I don't know why this is doing this now. Yeah. The veil of the Western media, the veil that they used to pull over our eyes, that veil has gone. Yes, it is disappeared. And it's not just one or two of us, it's the whole world is waking up. Because guess what? You know, before in the olden days, as soon as anybody hears, oh, the mainstream media, they are talking to you, it's like a psyop. It's the mainstream media is such a powerful tool that has been used to control our mind. They moved from using the Bible and the Quran and all of that. They moved from that to putting that power in the mainstream media. And they used it to control us all psychologically. So that whenever they say to us, are you really going to do this? Then in your mind, because of when they put us under any stress, the mainstream media puts us under stress. So that when we are stressed, please listen intently. When we are stressed, our automatic response, please tap on the screens, those of you on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, help us share the broadcast. Our automatic response goes back to the conditioning that we have been placed for so many years. Remember, many of us, the mainstream media has been there to subtly control our responses. So when there is a pressure on us, are you really going to do this? We go, oh, no, I forgot it. Oh, I know who I am. No, I'm not going to ask any questions. No, I'll do as you say. Well, in the case of Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, he did something that I have rarely seen on anywhere. And the mainstream media were literally stunned. And don't forget, you see, all of these presenters, all of these journalists, so-called journalists, they are all in on this game. They are all in on this game of controlling our minds. Please, I would urge you, if you're watching me, please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube also. Help us grow the platform. We really do need your support. It is really, really important that we continue to grow this platform. share the broadcast, help us reach more people. Now, I want you to listen to this. But before I do, I want to just say this. We are literally breaking free from the control, the mind control that the mainstream media represents. And it's not just one or two people. It is all of us. Everybody is now aware that something is missing, that something is not right. Like I said, those presenters that you see on the mainstream media, they're not just presenting. Their key role is to psychologically get us to always revert back to what we have been conditioned over the years to do, which is to never question anything. And don't forget, if you're watching and you're joining us on Godfrey Isagis, thank you. Hi, greetings, Godfrey. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. I'm really glad for your comments. Please do share. And those who will join me, please give us a thumbs up as you're watching us on YouTube. Hi to Princess Bajo. Hi to Fred Notes. Hi to Dino Diaspora. Freeman. Hello. Hi to Lynette Nyako. Hi to Ya Ellen. Hi to user 242066. Omo Batala. Hi to you. Dikpo. Hi to you. I'm going to say hi to as many people as possible. Please help us share the broadcast. I will mention your name. Wasiu Taiwo, hi to you. It is really important that we speak. Omo Batala Oloshumari, thank you very much. Welcome. Please tap on the screen and share. Help us reach more people. The more you tap on the screen, the more we reach more people. And also, could you do me a favor as you're watching me on TikTok? Just go over to YouTube and subscribe to Citizen AY there also. So like I said, all of these presenters that you see on the mainstream media, their role, they have a key role. And their key role is to always to get us to revert back to the conditioning that we have been placed over since we were young. Many of us, the churches, the schools, everything is about indoctrination. Indoctrination to have the great fear of the system. We are being conditioned to have a great fear of the system. Well, that fear is gone. That fear has totally gone. And I am so glad to see it. Because when Tom Llamas started questioning the Iranian foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, the way they framed the question, you see, it's all about psychological oppression. It's psyops. It is all about psychology, the mainstream media. Everything they do, every action that they take, it's all about trying to control the mind of the people. That is to say, before they even take any action, they have won the psychological battle. And this is what all of us need to be aware of. Before anything is even done, before they even take any action, any military action, any financial action, they have psychologically programmed us to accept what they are telling us is going to happen. So that our defenses has been lowered by just psychologically suggesting to us to accept what they've been saying to us. And this is going to be demonstrated clearly in the next video. Let me play it to you. Come, let's play this. Watch this now. Abbas Araghchi was sort of fumbling as he was asking, are you sure? You know, kind of. I'll play it again. I'll play it again.
Greetings all and welcome to Season Y, the platform where we speak truth to power. Have a listen to this interesting piece. Very, very revealing. Here, the foreign minister for Iran, Araghchi, speak to NBC. And here are his words. Have a listen, we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You were waiting for the U.S. military to...
Did you see that? Did you see he was stunned? That's what I mean. The reporter, Thomas Llamas, was not expecting that reply. he was expecting the foreign minister for Iran, Abbas Araghchi, to suddenly start going, oh, what am I saying? Oh, it's the big US. Oh, I dare not. Oh, no. Yeah, we are going to. He was expecting, that was the response he was expecting. So when he didn't get the response, this is what he got. This is what we got.
The ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
The reporter.
So you can see on his face, he was like, he was stunned, he was stumbling. Now, when a reporter that is being, remember, every single one of those presenters who are part of this psyops on our mind, they've been trained. They are trained to make sure that the air of confidence, the messaging, the suggestion, they have this suggestive thing that they're putting out. It's all psychological and subliminal. They are already prepping us to go, okay, you know what? You are facing US. This is the world power. Are you really going to do this? Are you really going to take on the US? And for the first time, a crack appeared in the mainstream media. This moment, I want us all to make a note of this moment. This moment is very, very significant. Not only for the fact that Iran is now standing up against the injustice of a corrupt system, who, let's not forget, the system where, this is the system that has given us the Epstein files, where anybody who is anybody in the entire Western world is contained in the Epstein files. And that file is being used to force them to do things that is corrupt. That is, I mean, never again can anybody say, never again should anybody tell us that America is not corrupt. You can't. The Epstein file has blown all of this wide open. It has shown us that everything that you hear about the West is all a facade. It is not based on any reality, but a pack of lies. When they tell you anything, you have to go and check. You cannot trust anything they say to us. Nothing they say can be trusted. Not a single word that the Western system of governance can tell us. From even in the religious sense, we know they lied, because they tell us to believe. They say, I've told you about this. Pope Nicholas V, seeing anybody that is not European as being ripe to be caught, to be fought against, caught, enslaved in their land, and their resources taken from them. All in the name of Christianity. And then they ask you, expect you, they tell you, in fact, not expect, they force you to follow their religion. And that is what the system of governance is based on. And we need to understand that this is such a fundamental moment. Now, I don't have any, I mean, I'm not a Muslim, and I don't support Islam. I have issues with religion, period, myself. But the point I am making here is that Iran rightfully stood up and said, no, we are waiting for you. Let us hear again. Let's hear again.
What's the name? Tom Llamas.
Listen again.
Clearly stunned at the confident response from the Iranian Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, was sort of fumbling as he was asking, are you sure? You know, kind of.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Season AY?
So let's listen again.
Greetings all and welcome to Season AY, the platform.
I just want you to notice.
Have a listen to this interesting piece. Very, very...
I want you to notice when Thomas Llama, when the moment hits him, that, hang on, what he's saying about America is not working. This man is not fazed about hearing that America is coming to his country. In fact, the man, if anything, is saying, no, we are waiting for you. We are waiting for you to come to us because we will take care, we will deal with you. So, you see, that point is that we have to understand that for so long, they have already, before they did anything, that psychological war has been what has been waged on many people. Oh, it's America. Shoo. Oh. So the panic has made us, even before anything happened, we've already psychologically accepted that they were superior. It's just pure psy-ops. And that facade has cracked wide open. We all know now. So listen to, watch now, watch intently.
Revealing. Here, the foreign minister for Iran, Araghchi, speak to NBC. And hear his words. Have a listen and we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You were waiting for the U.S. military?
You see, he stuttered. He literally stuttered. You are waiting for? Because, one, he's been programmed to say, when you say that, they will do this. They've put a set of things in front of him to expect. And how it's almost like they've programmed him and prepped him to expect certain responses. Now, when the responses did not match what he expected, because in his mind he had already played back what he was going to hear. So when what he heard did not go back with what he was expecting to hear, you could see that aura shifted. And that is why we see the stunned look on Tom Llamas' face. And I'm really glad that this man did this. Let me see if I can bring in Lynette. I hope you're still there. We need to talk about this, and I wanted to really talk about this from a very, very is Lynette around? I hope she is, or she may have gone. It's a shame. I was going to bring you, but I wasn't ready at the time, and I needed to say this. But anyway, we will talk some more, and others, if you do want to join, you can join me. The point I am making right here is that for the first time, all around the world, with the injustice, because now we've seen, many of us have heard about the injustice. I mean, we've seen the amount of essaying of children that's happened in the churches, in Islam as well. Please don't think it's one way. Don't think it's one way. This has happened. We've seen what is happening in the governance, the double standards. We've seen that the poverty that is around the world is all engineered. We've seen that the people who are at the top, particularly this Epstein file, is horrifying, that these people at the very top of so-called the Western democracies, Western elite or whatever, they are nothing but depraved lunatics. Yes, you heard me say, they are nothing but depraved lunatics. And they see themselves as above the law. They see themselves as above any law in the world, that no law that they write or that they instruct those in government to write applies to them. They see themselves above any law. And that is very important for us to understand. So what is happening is that they have nowhere to hide. Everything that they have hidden, all of the crimes that they've hidden and acted on the basis of, oh, we have the right because we are superior. This is the mentality of eugenicists. They believe that they're superior, and as such, they will dictate to the rest of the entire humanity what happens. And they do not expect to suffer consequences for the action they take. The very thing that they impose on many of us around the world. That is why you see, there's a picture I saw. I cannot show it on here. There's a picture that I saw today, and it horrified me. Epstein was having a child on his stomach, on his knee. Now, on his knee, Epstein he had his stomach was open. The cloth was open. Now, they had that child was facing this way, sort of, and the child was naked. You could see that the child was naked. And he was sitting. Oh. Oh. And this is the man that is talking about, economy, talking about ideas about population, talking about this man has been involved in all manner of things. That picture alone, just that one picture, horrifies me. It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to see a grown man having a child. Clearly, I mean, in that picture, he's from his waist, he's naked on his waist. And there is another man sitting across the room. And I'm thinking, with a child. Just on that alone, they should be in jail. But these are the people who are making decisions that are impacting us, who are creating and causing wars that is going on right now. So that's why I'm saying that what is happening now, what you saw with Iran, and of course, many people, we've seen, how can it be right? Let us be honest. How can it be right that another a country, the US, wages a war against another country on their own territory? No attempt has been made by Iran that I know of to go to invade any part of the US. Please, if anybody has that evidence, let us have it. But yet the US, in conjunction with Israel, go into Iran. And the reason why they have gone into Iran, let us be very clear about this, has been about the resources of Iran. The resources that Iran has. That is why, that is the only reason that the US have gone in there. Because they want to control the resources of another country. They don't have the right to. But you see, with the mentality of the likes of Epstein, they believe that whatever laws they write applies to everybody else but themselves. So, the US, they don't believe, if you notice with the US, when it comes to the ICC, the US disregards the ICC, but he expects the rest of the world to comply with the decisions made by the ICC. Likewise, in the United Nations, when there is decisions made in the United Nations, the US will blatantly veto decisions made for the betterment of the humanity. And then they stand and they say, oh, we are a rules-based. So who is this rule made for? It is clear. The rule is not made for people who for others, for themselves, except for those who they wish to control. That rule has been used time and time again. The rules-based law means I make the rules and you obey the rules. And this is what is coming out loud and clear in everything that's going on. The mentality of those who are in this clique of Western elite society, their mindset is, we will make rules for you to comply, and those rules will not apply to us because we are above the law, the rules. I don't understand. For the life of me, I cannot understand where in any part of this world it is okay for a grown man to be having unspeakable things, to be doing unspeakable things to a child. And that man, because he's part of an elite of the so-called Western world, whatever he does, he doesn't even see the four walls of the court. He doesn't face the consequences of his actions. And those are the people that end up running nations, men and some women of a particular people, European. You notice they consider themselves above the laws that they impose on others. And that is what this is about. For them to have taken an action against a sovereign nation, whether or not you agree with how Iran is ruling the government, whether you agree with it or not, the fact is they're a sovereign nation. The UN Charter that you often like to say, you have to respect the sovereignty of a nation. But in one swoop, America and Israel decide, no, those rules don't apply to us. We are above that. And they took the action that took the lives of 136 or 163 people in the place they went, the children they went to go and send this thing to explode, and took their lives. And they still, till as we speak, they have not admitted the guilt. And that's the thing with this kind of mentality that we're seeing. That those who do this, they have no conscience. Okay, you see? Behavior is line with gifting is suspended for 10 minutes. They suspended gifting on platform for 10 minutes because I'm speaking truth to power. It doesn't matter. Please tap away, share. Again, I tell you, instead of for them doing that, please I'd love you to go and subscribe to me on YouTube. Please go and subscribe to me on YouTube. We will speak our truth to power. We're not going to be conditioned. I'm not a cat. I'm not an animal that you're going to pigeonhole my thought process. I'm not abusing anybody. We are talking about what is wrong. You see, when we allow those who are considering themselves to be above the law to apply law to you and I, that is oppression. That is oppression, pure and simple. That is oppression. That is oppression. So they I broke no laws. They don't. I'm being watched, obviously. I'm being watched. So now they are monitoring me. The numbers will start going down. But what I'm saying is that what you are looking at, I need you to know that the mainstream media, finally, we are beginning to see a crack in what they've been using to control us. We are now able to see that when we stand together, when we decide that this injustice, when you are telling us what laws to comply with, and you yourself put yourself above that law, you don't deserve to write any laws. Anybody who's going to write any law, it has to be applicable to all, or to be applicable to none. What has happened? I'll give you, as I speak to you, there are 5 permanent members of the UN. US, United States, United Kingdom, France, China, Russia. Anytime that the US decide to break the law, to disregard the UN, they always have a word with either UK and France. You will notice something. When the US are about to break that law, is either UK and France vote along with US to either veto or they abstain. All of that is to keep the power with them. Africa has 54 nations. Yes, 54 nations. And we have no, appeal not approved. Yes, I know. Africa has 54 nations. And we have no seat. We have no permanent membership, member of the Security Council. And we are the largest bloc. Africa is the largest bloc of nations in the United Nations. Tell me how that is fair. So those who clearly, you can clearly see that the structure, those who are writing those laws, are restricting the ability of Africa to partake in what is clearly impacting us. It's like you are beating. It's like you are, slapping or hitting a child, and you're putting your hands over their mouth to not speak. This is what is going on. So and they always, if you notice, another thing, I will come back and talk about that in a bit. Another thing I noticed, which I will say, when you notice that every time that they want to do this psyop on us, every single member of that news media, they carry the same news. So when you go from one channel to the next channel, to the next channel, to the next channel, it is the same news, word for word. So this is what they're doing. They're psychologically making sure that news echoes around us, so much so that we now accept it as truth. And what is worse about that is that when you hear it around you so many times, you don't even, your ability to even challenge it, they have subliminally weakened your ability to be able to speak up and say, no, this is wrong because of X, Y, and Z. And the echo chamber goes around so much that some of us, slightly who are being brainwashed, they will even speak up for that injustice and say, oh, that is what is there. You should comply with it. You should, because that is the psychological work they have been doing to us. The media is the most powerful tool. It's a mind control. It is literally mind control. And it is out in the open, but they do it subtly. So you will hear, they will use keywords. Oh, yes. For example, now that the Iran has really been doing a lot of damage in Israel, but all of the mainstream media, they have done an agreement among themselves to say the same word. All of them will say, Israel, the authorities in Israel are not allowing us to cover the report, so we will not show it. I saw a video today. I don't know if I can show you, where the reporter was showing, they were watching the video on the screen. They didn't show us. They said, oh, this is but because the authorities in Israel are not allowing us to show what is going on, they're keeping the record, keeping away to show you. Now imagine if that was Iran. Imagine if that was Iran. Let us just imagine for 1 minute if that was Iran that did that. Let's just imagine that Iran came and did that. What do you think those same press would be saying? I'm going to find that. I need to find that for you because I need you to see that, actually. I don't want to just say it alone. I want you to see it yourself. I want you to see it yourself. No, sorry, 1 minute. That's the man himself. I am a fan of his now. I am so glad that he spoke up. And we need more people who will speak up like that because it is not right. So Abbas Araghchi, he spoke up. Yeah. They've had no problem showing God for exactly. And this is it. So what I'm saying is that, you see, the mainstream media, it is time, and that is why I keep saying for us as Africans, thankfully, the Alliance of Sahel States, I will just mention this now, but please sign up, go and sign up to Citizen AY's for my newsletter. There are some things I'll talk about, but I'll just mention one thing. Alliance of Sahel States, they've also created their own media space that they will not allow the Western world to control. And that is what we need to do. Because when they control the media space, when they control that media space, they are controlling the mind of the people. You know? Yeah, we have corruption called corruption only with the promise to live in the dusty forever. Exactly. They have no problem showing Gulf War. Exactly. So this, please, as you're watching, I know they're saying that you can't give my platform. If you can, do me a favor. Go on YouTube right now and just search for Citizen AY and subscribe, because that way we can reach more people via this. Somebody's on here. They say cooperation. Yeah, control. Exactly. Brethren, how are you? Bantu Queen, greetings to you. Thank you very much. Godfrey, thank you so much. And those of you watching, please continue to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, as you're watching, give us thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you very much, Bantu Queen. Thank you very much, my brother, Godfrey Osage. Thank you so much. Don't forget, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. Now, like I said, what we must do, what we need to begin to do is to support all of us to speak up. We've been programmed via the mainstream media to always accept everything that they've told us and to not question, to be subservient. We've been conditioned to be subservient, to see them as more or less our gods. And that is not right. We are all beings with infinite possibilities to achieve great things. But mind control has limited our ability to achieve more than we currently see, because they've numbed our brains down with controlled, negative thoughts, power to disempower us. All of it has been consistently been done to, keep us from really vibrating higher. They've been keeping us at a low frequency. And I'm going to say something that is controversial. This has been going on for a very long time. You see, I have a belief that in the olden days, when we were vibrating higher, we were literally giants on this earth. Yes, we were literally giants. The size that we are now has been impacted by this constant mind control, just to keep us, to keep reducing us down. But they have come to the place now where the crack in their facade is showing. And all of this is coming to an end. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's coming to an end. And that is why whatever they do now, and what is worse is whatever they're doing now, the more they try and hold on to that power, the more it will unravel quicker. Religion, we can see through the lies of the religion. Education, it's miseducation, we are seeing through the lies of the miseducation. Mainstream media, we are seeing through the lies of the mainstream media. The economy, false economy, we are seeing through it. You see, education, miseducation again, like I said. Manufacturing, everything, whatever, military. Before, the US, their arms are not even working as they had said it would be. You see, they didn't so much focus. One of the things with the weapons that they had before, because they controlled our mind so much, they would say, they will go and do a news about, oh, we've got this new technology, it can do this. And they used to do, Hollywood is so important in all of this. Hollywood is such an important tool. They use that to program our minds. You will see somebody coming from somewhere in the Islamic world or African world, and we are always the villain. And what is sickening about the control is that when you see the villain, you don't see yourself. You just think it's a movie. But it's about you. And they're conditioning you to see yourself as a negative that they must control, even if it means to take you out. And at the end of the movie, we will clap. We will all clap. Because psychologically, They've made us to accept that we are the lowest of the low and we will never amount to nothing. And we must accept that what they are saying, mind control, yes. What they portray us as is what we are ultimately going to accept as this the case. Now, let me see if I can show you that picture. I want to just find that picture to show you. I want to just go into Citizen Era. I'm going to keep this one because I think it's important to bring that up. I want to just show if I can find this. It is very important to understand that everything that you see, why is it okay? So when Iran are not, when they say they're going to bar the reporters from showing certain things, that's oppression. But what happens when Israel does it? They go silent. There's no mention whatsoever of how wrong that is. If they equally say, no, we don't accept this because it's not right, as press, yeah, Israel could say it. But what is damaging is that all of the press have all agreed that they are going to spread the same message, that, oh no, we're not showing it, and it's okay. And they're psychologically getting us to accept that message. And that is mind control right there. That is a perfect example of mind control. I'm just trying to get this thing working. I hope it will let me show you. Ah, here we go. Can I do this? Yeah, I'll see if I can move it. No, okay. I'm gonna try. Oh, sorry, one more time. I just want to show you this thing. Hopefully it will let me do it. Okay. Just give me a minute. I will get it right. So I want to show you a perfect example of what I mean. Because the CNN did exactly what I'm saying now. They are busy saying that Iran is doing this, Iran is doing that. And please don't get me wrong. I am not supporting or saying that Iran is 100% correct. No nation is. What I am exposing here is the hypocrisy of the system that we are in. That means that we are not allowed to question. We're not allowed to make a decision ourselves about what we see. They are trying to interpret and tell us how to think. And that is not right. That is not right. How to think, what to think. And that is what we need to be very, very aware of and not fall for their okie doke. You know, let me see if I can get this here. Give me a minute. Why is it not showing me? It's not letting me show you this thing. Okay, I'm just quickly, just give me a minute, I'll show you. You will see it. I'm still here, so I'm quickly going to show you this here. Where is it? And another one I'll show you again. There's a lot to talk about. But let me show you this as I'm here. And you will hear it, those of you on YouTube. Please subscribe to Citizen Era, the platform where we speak truth about. Now, I'll play this way. So quickly, watch this now. Watch this. I'm gonna just
something they blame Iran of. Greetings all. Have a listen. It seems like the Israeli government is carrying out censorship, something they blame Iran of.
You see?
Greetings all.
So what you are hearing in the background there? You see, if you look at, they are looking on a screen. The people who are supposed to be journalists, they are looking on a screen. And they're saying, we cannot show you what is going on in a particular place in Israel because the Israeli government have told us not to share it. That is happening on every single mainstream media. Now, I'm asking a question. You tell me, is that journalism or is that brainwashing? They are telling us that all of them are accepting that message. But notice, if Iran was to do the same thing, what would they do if Iran did the same thing? They will suddenly say they are oppression. It's an oppressive regime. Is it not the case that they would say that? So what's the difference between Iran doing that, and Israel doing it, and Iran doing it. That's the point I'm trying to make here. That the mainstream media is a threat to our collective mentality. It is a threat to our collective mentality. And it is actually doing a very dangerous, a great disservice to the mind of those people who think that they're going to benefit from it. Because when you have a mindset of, oh, there are laws. Yes, I can see there are laws, but I am above that law. What do you think those who consider themselves above the law will do? They will do whatever they want because they know fully well that the law does not apply to them. Hence, you see what is going on. The scene I said to you earlier on about Epstein, a picture. And as I think about it, I want to throw up. I literally want to throw up when I think about that picture of a child. I don't think that child is even 4 years old. And he has the child on his lap. And when I first looked at it, they covered the eyes. This is on Epstein files. They covered the face. But how can a grown man explain how a grown man will have a child naked on his lap and him and the adult naked from the waist down and is smiling as he's doing this? My stomach is turning. It just makes me it makes my skin crawl. That this man, and sometimes they're talking to me about the same man that's doing this is talking about, oh, stocks. Oh, somebody's coming to me and talking to me about, oh, how I can help them. The shares and stocks are falling. And this is a man that is allowed to be walking free. How many of them are walking free? How many of them are in the system? How many of them are going around to make sure that there are more people? More children that they can do whatever they want to do to. How many places around the world are there that they've reserved for themselves to be doing this sickening thing? So, I salute many people who are speaking up. It's not just me, and yet more still are going to continue to speak up. And I continue to advocate strongly that we in Africa, we must have our own media. Because the face of that guy, let me put the picture up. I want to put a picture of him up so you can see his face of Tom Llamas, I think it is. His face, the stunned look, is something that I have never seen before on the face of a presenter. Can you see you see what's like, huh? So he was asking, what? He was stunned. He was stunned that the Iranian foreign minister had the BALLS to question whatever it is that the hegemony has said, because their programming had made them to believe when they say this, we would come out and become subservient when they pose the question. It's about priming us. It's about priming us to react in the way they want. That is to be subservient. And then that message, the minute that happens, something happens to us in the whole world. They are sick people, Jenny. Yes, they are sick people. So they get us. Had it been that the Iranian foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, had he sort of said, "Oh yes, look, we don't want, we don't have go to war with the US." Then they would have said, "Okay, yeah, that's good, yeah, but then okay, have you spoken? Are you?" Then they will start, that starts reverberating around the world. People start going, "Oh, Iran are kind of, the minister, he blinked there. Okay, maybe, and that, but the fact that he went against it totally, I'll show you.
military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
The reporter.
So, right there, that is a moment that we need to remember. We have to remember that moment. We have to acknowledge that moment. And we need to, this is why we need to start challenging the mainstream media. I am not saying that people shouldn't have their own media and they shouldn't publish what they want. But when they're trying to make sure that they tailor the message to be the same, they're trying to condition us to not question them. And then in fact, the journalists are supposed to report what is really happening. They now become part of the people who are controlling us to make us see things the way the system wants us to see without questioning the system. Are they journalists or are they manipulators? That's the question we're asking. Are they manipulators masquerading as journalists? That's what we need to question. And the entire thing now, for me, it's opened my eyes in so many ways, and I hope it's opening many eyes. Just on this alone, you've heard me talk about the UN situation. I've talked about the ICC. The US, I've said it before, in 1823, the US, via Supreme Court judge decision. Please, those of you on TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen NY on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Help us grow the platform. I'm trying to reach 10,000 followers on YouTube. I'd like to get to 50,000 followers on TikTok as we speak. So please go ahead and share it and let's reach more people. Give us thumbs up as you're watching on TikTok and on YouTube. Thank you. So, as I was saying, the fact of the matter is that this system is trying to ensure that we never, ever question them. And where we are right now, the system is crumbling and unraveling very, very fast. That is why many of us are waking up and we are saying, we know, we've been getting a sense that something is wrong with this structure. When whatever it is we're saying, you see all of the so-called conspiracies that many people, 4, 5, even 2 years ago, when you said anything about the government, they would say, oh, it's a conspiracy. Nearly all of it has come out to be factual now, all based on one single event. Epstein files. Epstein files. Yes, Epstein files. Let me show you something if I can. Hopefully I'll be able to go into this. Did you know? I know there's no, there's still talk about, oh, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe it was just some kind of, what can I put it? Maybe people are just making it up. There was some talk about the Epstein files, essaying children and all of that, and that it was jailed for that. And he's been jailed for that and all of that. And we don't, anyway. But the second part of what I want to do was the ingesting. I'm hearing, you know, and we haven't got there's no conclusive thing here, but they mentioned it. But the thing I want to say to you is that, did you know, to give it some sort of, in your mind, did you know this, that in the US, you are allowed to, the law does not prevent you from cannibalism, which they mentioned in conjunction with the Epstein file. Yes, they mentioned it. And I want you to listen to this lady here. All of it is all tied together. And these were one of the things that was being considered to be conspiracy theories. But in the US, the only place where they don't allow for cannibalism is Idaho. Listen to this lady. I can find it. Sorry.
Greetings all. Welcome to Citizen NY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I want you to listen to this video that tells you in clear terms that in the US, the only state that does not practice eating of black people is Idaho. Have a listen.
In the United States, with the exception of one state.
What?
The only state in the United States where cannibalism is illegal is the state of Idaho.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I am not leaving my house today.
White people have always indulged in cannibalism. They ate their slaves and they ate black people that were free after the Emancipation Proclamation, after lynchings.
Yes, as we...
So, the reason I'm showing you all of this, the reason I'm saying all of this was before that was considered conspiracy theory. That was considered conspiracy theory. No joke. When you mention that. But now here we have, this has come up in the Epstein files. Some talk about people, children tasting like cream crackers and something like that. And this is what I mean. We have been so conditioned to not question anything, to accept what this unjust system has imposed on us. And the system has gone around creating poverty so that those who are at the very top could enrich themselves at our expense. And now, we now see them for what they are. They are depraved, sickening souls that deserve to be behind bars. Yes, Pink, yeah, it's never reported, only because TikTok it was exposed. Thank you very much, Pink Moderate Moscatos. Thank you very much for that question. Let me bring you on board. Pink Moscato, I will bring you on board as you talked about that. I'll see if I can bring somebody else on board as well. We got a bit of time, maybe an hour or so. Please welcome, and let me see if I can bring our others on as well. Thank you very much for that, Pink Moscato. I'm trying to find you. If I can't see you on here, I'll try and have I multi-guested you. Queen Katia, thank you very much for joining us as well. Let me see if I got you there. It's not letting me bring you for some reason. I can't add you. I don't know why it won't let me do that, but anyway, please share the broadcast. So the question is this: Pink Moscato says, explain why they still do lynches. It's never reported, only because of TikTok it was able to expose. Thank you. Now, you had them talk about lynching in that piece that I showed you. Lynching has been going on since the days when they created America. And that's another clue to us there. The people who were originally the owners of the land in America are the people that they are lynching even now. And many people will find that controversial when I say that. But you see again, age of Aquarius. We are learning and we're learning. We are unlearning their lies. And then we're learning our truths. Many people throughout the 1800s until now, the reason why they lynched people of many people like me was control. About control, taking over land forcefully. Walter Plecker was very good at reclassifying from native to colored to then mulatto and all of this stuff to black to and then the others, and then they made American, African American, all of this stuff. All of it was to ensure that the people, original people who owned that land, that their history was erased, that their connection to that land was removed. And what they did with the lynching was what they said in here. There's a book called The Delectable Negro. I don't know if I've showed it before. They literally were engaged in consuming people of color. They literally were engaged in it. And as I said, the only place in America where they've outlawed it is Idaho. Let me type it up. I don't want to just hear. I don't want to just say it alone. I want you to actually see it yourself. I want you to see it yourself. So you will see it on the screen, so that we remove any doubt whatsoever in the minds of anybody. Oh, he's talking nonsense. Oh, what balderdash. Oh, what? Here we go. Let's show you. All states in the U.S. are free to cannibalize, yeah, except Idaho. Watch what happens when I do that. So let's go. Okay, they suspended me. Yeah, I'm going to appeal. Yes, I know they don't want me to speak truth to power, but please help me by subscribing to me on YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, help me grow the platform. I will need your support. Okay. I broke no laws. Okay, so cancel. So you can see now. Let me show you. So the statement is popular, legal, technically, that's likely accurate. Idaho is the only U.S. state with a specific explicit law against cannibalism. In other 49 states, there is no statute that uses the word cannibalism to outlaw the act of eating human flesh itself. However, obtaining human remains to consume is virtually impossible to do legally due to other serious laws that exist nationwide. So can you see now, in principle, it is still happening. It can be done. Now, to now go and talk about the so-called lynchings. So, what they've done, again, is about power. This is about trying to use power to control an entire group of people using force. Many of the, what they call the KKK, this came from them. They will put their so-called cross in the land and burn it, and wearing their white robes. Yeah. And let us go there. Let's go there. I'm going to do something. It's still happening. Why? Let's ask that question. Yeah. Happening in US now. Somebody ask online in the US now. Lynchings. Yeah. That's what they call it. In 2026. 1 minute, just give me a minute. Okay, let's have a look. Appeal not approved. Yes, I know you're not going to approve my appeal. Now, you see that? I'm going to read that to you. While brutal public spectacles of lynchings commonly associated with Jim Crow era largely ceased in the 1960s, reports from 2025 and early 2026 indicate incidents resembling racial terror, violence, and against Black Americans, native, I would say, Americans, continue to occur, often disguised as suicides or unexplained deaths based on findings. So it is still going on. They said it stopped in the 60s, but to be honest, did it really stop, or was it not reported? Did it really stop, or was it simply not reported? Thank you very much for the gift. Those from Toros Villa. I'm going to acknowledge that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. So I'm going to just put that. Thanks so much. Okay. So please give the platform. Please go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. So you can see. So let's read a bit more. So new reports finds more than 70 suspected modern day lynchings. You see that? So in fact, I think was it last month, if I remember, it seems as though it happened every single day last month. And as we are talking about that in America, there are some things that people may not be aware of. And I think we need to know. And particularly many Africans, we have to be very aware of this. You may not know this, but there are what they call sundown towns. Sundown as in, as soon as it gets dark, you don't want to be caught in those towns in America. But I'll explain more about that later on. But let us just focus on this lynching. I want to read a bit more. So it says here, deliberate misclassification. Advocacy organizations such as Julian have identified a pattern of modern day lynchings where deaths of black individuals, including transgender women, are hastily ruled suicide by local authorities despite suspicious circumstances. Jamification of hate. Imagine research suggests that white supremacist terrorism in the digital area has led to gamified violence, where the online environment lower the psychological barriers to committing violence against people of color. Systemic inaction and complicity. You see, this is part of the entire white supremacy agenda. And this is why we have to talk about this. But you see, when I'm talking about this, you notice I'm not using any swear words. I'm trying to be very careful about my words, but we have to speak about this. But anytime that a system prevents you from speaking truth to power, that system is a system designed to control your mind. You are not allowed to speak freely, you know? Yeah, thank you. So please continue to share. Tap on the screen, help us grow the platform. Please, we welcome gifts as well. If you want to subscribe to me on a monthly basis on TikTok, I'll be very much grateful because it will help us do a lot of things. Please sign up for my newsletter. I will show you again later on. I was trying to show you my newsletter. You can go sign up it's on my Facebook page. You just sign up for my newsletter and you will get that. And we're talking about a lot of things. You see here, I have to be careful about what I'm saying and things I can show. Whereas with the newsletter, I can share images and pictures of things directly. We can talk about it because it's going to be direct contact via the via mail. So and you can get messages of when I'm going to go live, and I'll be doing subscription only broadcast where we can talk more freely and openly about the things that we want to do, the things that we need to be aware of. But let's carry on with this. Systemic inaction and complicity. Reports highlight a continued lack of thorough investigation by law enforcement, particularly in southern states, where deaths of black men found hanging are frequently closed without properly investigating potential hate crimes. There's a guy called Julian that this has happened to in the US that I can recall. It's called, they say his name, don't forget, Julian. You know, and this is really, really happening. For this to be happening in 2026 tells you how terrible things have gone. Thank you so much. It is so important. Again, thanks again. Those of you gifting, please, we welcome, and I'm really glad for the gifting, and it really does help us. Thanks so much. Now, like I said, one of the things In the newsletter, we are showing you, we'll be talking about the steps we're taking to visit Burkina Faso. So if you want to be part of that journey, please sign up. Go and sign up to my newsletter. I'll see if I can quickly show you. No, I'll come back to it. But look up for that on my Facebook page. It's pinned at the top, and you just sign up for the newsletter monthly. The first month is free. We are still in the first month, which I'm doing now. The newsletter is ready, and already been given it to one or two people in the coming days. But with the more people can join us, the better, because you can see there are restrictions on the system. But we are going to be continuing our broadcast nonetheless. So you can see they don't take action to deal with this injustice. They never do. And we are here to explain that. I'm so glad that the person who asked the question, it is really important. They gave us the opportunity to go into it. So, and you can see this is what I like about what we're doing here. We are having an interactive section, even if people joining live. So, Pink Moscatos, thank you for that question, because the question you asked is what led us here. It says, explain why they still do lynchings and it never reported, only cause of TikTok it was able to expose. So, you know, that gave us the opportunity to be able to delve into this often hidden, sickening act that is carried out by rape to assists, you know, people who have bigoted minds and all of that. And now we are talking about it like this, and we need to talk about it because many people, you see, the rape to assist, to them, it doesn't matter whether you are Black American or Native American or African, or what they see, what they know. If you are of the skin color, then for them it is okay to do whatever they want to do. Now, many Africans are not aware. Like I said, I will come and talk about sundown towns. Legislative action. In response to the enduring trends, a Methyl Anti-Lynching Act was signed into law in 2022, officially making lynching a federal hate crime. But they can say all of this, but the inaction will mean that those who are committing those crimes see it as nobody is going to hold me accountable. Greetings among me and others. Kwabo Don Vago, those of you who are watching. It is really, really important that we understand what is going on here, you know. So, like I said, this has been going on for over a century, and it is still ongoing. And this is why we must question everything. When I was in school, I didn't even know a thing about lynchings or the consumption of people, Black people. Did you know that they made shoes from the skin of Black people? Yes, they did. Let me show you. I'll show you. These are things that we need to be aware of. And people will say it's conspiracy theory, but that's a fact. These are things they don't want to talk about, but we need to speak about it. So listen to this. Historical facts, but it's still happening. Listen, historical accounts indicate that there are verified instances of shoes and other leather goods being made from tanned skins of Black people, specifically during the era of slavery and in the late 19th century in the United States. Based on the report studies, sources like Jim Crow Museum at Ferry State, 19th century evidence, 1888, it was reported that the physician boasted of wearing shoes made from tanned skin of Black individuals. There you go. So I don't spread rumors. I'm talking about facts. But this, you will never see this. We are never taught this in our history books. And we need to know this. And this is exactly why we need our own media space. We need our own media space. We must have our own media paste. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, so we need our own media space. It is very, very important to us that all of this history, we need to tell it among ourselves. The people who are giving you this, who are telling us about Christianity and everything else, and bringing this so-called religion, look at what they're doing. This is what they're engaged in, but they don't tell you this. And we need to know such things. We need to know it, you know? So I am saying all of this for us to know that it is time for us to really begin to strongly advocate that in every African community or melanated community, that we need to take control of, indeed, isn't it just Torresville, that we have to take control of our media space, the entire media. How many of you know about the Tuskegee experiments? You know, that's another thing we'll talk about. There's so many things that has been going on, but you don't see that in the history books. Everything they tell you are things that are, they hide the horrific things they've done. It is hidden. And we need to shine a light in every single corner. We have to shine that light to wake us up. Let me go next one again. So, but anyway, you can see, I'll read one line, you know. While not nature of the act, while not considered a widespread industrial practice, this behavior was a reflection of the extreme dehumanization of black people during slavery and the Jim Crow era. While many horrific stories of this nature exist, historians often differentiate between widespread industrial exploitation and documented individual acts of cruelty. This specific account is regarded as part of extreme violent dehumanization of the period. You see, it's still happening. I've seen people who are after the skin of black people because they know the qualities that we have. We don't know how important, how valuable our skin. Do you know that they have a value on melanin? Let me put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen for you. Is melanin valuable? Valuable. Melanin skin valuable? Listen now. Watch this now. So I need you to know, we need to know is, you see, what does it say there? Melanin skin is considered biologically valuable because it functions as a natural built-in protective system for the body. It acts as a shield against environmental stressors, particularly by absorbing and scattering harmful ultraviolet to reduce DNA damage and skin cancer. That's what you have. So let me go look at the funds. How much is it sold for? We're just asking questions. We need to be questioning things. How much is a gram of melanin? Yeah? A gram of melanin. Let me see. So we know all of these things as black people. It's important. But we don't know. You see, 500 pounds dollars per gram. These are facts that we don't know. But they will tell you about the Bible. They will tell you about Jesus Christ. They will tell you of what use is that to you when you don't know about how valuable your skin is and how they see it. These are things that we need for our community to be aware of. We have to, $500 dollars per gram. You see, previous research has revealed that certain fungi can produce melanin pigments and extracellularly when grown in media supplemented with an L-strosine, whatever it is. You see that? It is more expensive than gold. That's who we are. We do programs like this to raise awareness in our community. Please subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So sometimes when people go missing, you follow me? You dig? When they go missing in your community, start thinking. Start thinking about why they're going missing in your community, because it could be to do with this figure here. It's more expensive than gold. We don't know who we truly are as melanated people around the world. And I think it's time we begin to do a better job of that. And that is why we need to be in control of our own media. We cannot allow those who are oppressing us to be telling us who we are. That is a plain fact. This is not about hate, this is about facts. We are showing each other facts and figures about what is going on and what has been hidden from us. Notice all of this: powerful skin, valuable, the things that they've done, the history of things that has been happening. We are sharing knowledge. I'm not swearing, but you've seen several times I've been given, I'm going against, and we know that the people who have taken over TikTok, Larry Ellison, whatever they call them, Larry, whatever, they don't want us to speak these facts. And we need to speak these facts. You see, City Boy, greetings. Ronaldo Guidance, thank you very much. Greetings to you. Please, as you're watching, you're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Subscribe to us on TikTok. Can you consider subscribing to us on a monthly basis to help us grow the platform? Likewise on YouTube as well. We need your support. There's a lot of work we want to do. We want to be going to many African countries, even Caribbean countries. We want to be reporting live from those places, and also bringing you monthly newsletters where we can talk freely among ourselves about the issues that are relating to us and how we can improve our quality of life wherever we may be. We need to begin to understand that our collective coming together in any given area would be our collective benefit. We are people who are communal by nature. This individualistic idea, yes, some may gravitate towards it, but innately in us, our communities has always been communicative, collective, extended family. That is who we are. And when we're extended, it takes a whole village to raise a child, springs to mind. So we need our own media space to be telling our own stories. We have to be relying on ourselves. Our businesses, we need to promote our businesses among ourselves. We need to make sure that there's free trade across Africa. I don't, for the life of me, understand why the people outside of Africa get hold of African resources before Africans to whom those resources belong. We need to change our mindset. Without identifying, the media is the most important area that we need to take control of, closely followed by military. If you look at what they're doing in Burkina Faso, they've got the military and they've now got the media. Because they understand how important media is. And that is why that battle, you see, the battle of the minds, before any weapon is taken or struck, when somebody has control of your mind, it can dictate who wins or loses a battle. And it's really important that we understand that as a community. So when someone is talking to you about, this one is this church and that, it's a distraction, because that is not going to make you be aware of what is really happening to you. They are telling you stories that they've manipulated, twisted, and removed stuff and added stuff and put themselves in and all of that. We have to be using discernment now. We need to be using discernment. That is really, really, really important that we do so. So anyway, you can see now. So all of us, please, let's be aware. The skin that you're working in is valuable. And several times in the US, even around the world, we've been hearing some stories of people suddenly going missing. Melanated people like me and you. And they turn out to be used in terms of for the benefit of somebody, because our skin is literally valuable. But many of us who are in the churches will never have a clue about this. In the mosque, you will know that your skin is valuable. That's the reality. And oftentimes, those who are after those skins, they don't look like you and me. Look, I'm stating facts here. It's not about hate. We have to understand what is the motivating factor. We have to understand that it is time for us now. We're in the age of awareness. We need to break free from this bondage that we've been placed. You see? So, sorry. So I'm just really trying to hopefully get this message across. Please subscribe to Citizen AY. I'd really like you to join me on this journey. We'll be doing a lot more discussion about different things. Let me move to Sundown Town, because I said I would do that. Sundown Town, yeah? In the US. I want us to just learn in the US, okay? There are many things happening in Africa as well, which we will touch on as well. But somebody asked that question and it gravitated that way. There are so many areas that we have to cover and be aware of. But it's about awareness first and foremost. Thank you for those of you who are gifting the platform. I really do appreciate you. Like I said, I'd like you to consider subscribing to us on a monthly basis, and I will be giving you information as we go along, and information that I cannot be able to share here comfortably and freely. We'll share if you sign up to Citizen AY newsletter. Now, let us go. Flower Pot, greetings. Lexington Uluwani Shola, thank you very much. Let me show you this. Sundown. Listen now. And oftentimes, many Africans, we often don't know this. You hear, oh, I want to go to America. You're going to America. But take note. These are the things I've just told you now. Your skin as a melanated person is $500 per gram. You see on the screen. Now we're going to talk about sundown towns. Sundown towns were all white, segregated American municipalities, neighborhoods, prevalent in before 1950s, that used intimidation, violence, and discriminatory laws to exclude non-whites after dark, which means that you cannot, if you as a black person end up in that community, you are in grave danger, because they will use violence, intimidation, discrimination. You can go missing. And as we now know, because our skin is valuable, somebody would decide they want to try and off somebody and then take and make money from it. We have to be aware of all of this. So oftentimes, many of us, oh, I'm going to America. This is stories that they will not tell us. How many towns are this place? How many places are sundown towns? I'm going to write that down. Yeah, I'll go to the list of sundown towns below. But let's read through this. Sundown towns were all white, segregated American municipalities or neighborhoods, prevalent before 1950s, that used intimidation, violence, or discrimination laws to exclude non-whites after dark. These areas sometimes enforced by the KKK. You see, I mentioned KKK earlier on. This is it here. That's the confirmation. Often featured signs warning black people to leave by sunset, with examples including places like Lemon, SD, and Leventon, New York. You see that? So these are what we need to be sharing. When you're saying I'm rushing to America, do you understand what you're saying? Do you understand what that means? Do you understand that you're putting yourself in a particular risk? There's a guy, I think it's Julian. I'll tell you about the guy who was on a live recently. Now, Key aspects of the sundown towns. Definition: these were neighborhoods or towns that deliberately excluded African Americans and other non-white people. Methods of enforcement: exclusion was achieved through threats, violence, restrictive covenants, and in some cases, official municipal policy. They even had municipal policy, which means that it is part of the white supremacy structure in the system. It's deeply embedded in the system. And we need to talk about this among ourselves so that we are aware of it. You see, when you know all of this, in our own local languages, it prevents us from ending. None of us, many people don't know. It's often they realize when it's too late, and we're trying to raise awareness in our communities. It's very, very important that we understand that. Okay, so historical context. While most common before 1950s, these towns were a widespread practice of racial segregation across the United States. Examples of towns such as Leventon, New York, Lemon South, South Dakota have been identified as having histories of sundown towns. Okay, and this legacy of these towns contributes to lasting racial disparities in housing, demographics, and various parts of the country. Okay, so let me say list of sundown towns. List of it. Let's have a look. So let me see if we can got it here. It shows you, I hope. 1 minute. I'm just trying to. Alabama, Coleman County, Alabama House, Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, Arkansas. You see, listen, look at this. Look at what you see on the screen. War at Bonanza. Negroes quietly living. They began outbreak on Saturday night. You see that? They began outbreak. Women and children crawled under houses for safety. Scarcely any slept all night. 1904. Bonanza, Arkansas. Boone County, Arkansas. Clark County, Arkansas. Craig County, Arkansas. Harrison, Arkansas. I'll read you one example. Harrison, Arkansas. Look at that. This is the old, was the site of two race riots in 1905 and 1909. In 1905, a white mob broke into a local jail to kidnap two black prisoners, drive them out to city, and whip them while threatening to leave. In 1909, Charles Stinnett, a black man, was sentenced to hang for alleged rape of a white woman. Harrison's white community expelled more black people in its aftermath. Stinnett died from strangulation as a result of botched hanging 15 minutes later after it began. You see, these are things we need to talk about. Horatio, Arkansas. Market Tree, Arkansas. I'm trying to Springdale, Arkansas. Sheridan, Arkansas. California, Antioch, California. You see, Beverly Hills, Burbank, California. Culver City, California. El Segundo, California. Glendale, California. Hawthorne, California. Hemet, California. Manhattan Beach, California. These are things that people will know. Palos Verdes Estate, California. You see? Piedmont, California. All of this. San Leandro, California. Colorado. Florida. Connecticut. Georgia. Three Argos dynamited at Cumming. 1913. This is, look, we need to be aware of all of these things as people of color. Doesn't matter whether you're Native American or African or Caribbean, or if you're a person of color, when you go into that environment, this is what will happen to us, because these people who have got that mindset, they are psychologically deranged, in my view. And their mindset, they've been indoctrinated into something that oftentimes they cannot get out of, and we need to be aware of it and make sure that we do not put ourselves or our community, our family in that situation. Forsyth County, Georgia. You see? Illinois. See? Illinois, Anna, Illinois, Cicero, Illinois, Deland, Illinois, Effingham, Illinois, Eldorado, Illinois, Granite City, Illinois. You see? Pekin, Illinois, Salem, Illinois, Indiana, you see? Aurora, Indiana, Blueforn, Indiana. This is, I'm showing you all of this so that we are aware. Can you see how all of this is connected? Hope we're seeing it. That it is trying to raise awareness about what is really going on and how it's impacting our lives because of the oppression. And oftentimes these are the things that they don't want us to know about. So many of us will be saying, I'm coming to America, I'm going to the US. Well, what are you going into? What are you going into? Huh? What are you going into? This is, and the laws are not being, allowed to be enforced. And oftentimes, like I said, the people who are doing all of this stuff, they hide behind so many things and they are protected. And it is by shining a light like this collectively that we can collectively work together and confront it. It's painful. It's painful to watch it. It's painful. Iowa, you see, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nevada, New York, North Carolina, was once a sundown town, dangerous for black people to venture into. Carborough, North Carolina, and at night, past the railroads. Carborough's former mayor, first elected, called it the sundown town in a retrospective news article. Carborough was named Julian, a white supremacist Democrat. You see that? Is a white supremacist who never resided in Carborough, who infamously remarked during 1930 university dedication to the Confederate monument, Silent Sam, that he had horsewhipped a Negro wench until her skirt hung in shreds. Look, it is hard to say out and read what I'm reading because I'm a human being, I'm a man, I'm a militant person, and to have the idea that somebody will be looking at me and decide that they have the power. And this is what the likes of Epstein, they do. Did you know that Epstein actually set up a hunting party? There's video, there's a picture, there's a section that talks about hunting party for people that look like me. Yes. So if you think it's happened so long ago, no, it's happening now. This was in the report in 2016. But unless we start talking about this among ourselves as people of color, Africans, native foundational or Native Americans, excuse me if I'm not using the right word, but I fully acknowledge that you are from that part of the world, and they've tried to make you believe, they've tried to psychologically remove you from your birthright. That land is your birthright, just like they've done to many Aboriginals in what is now called Australia. It is actually Aboriginal land. Are we going to talk about Canada? Are we going to talk about New Zealand? I mean, this is all over the place. Melanated people are the first people of this planet. This is not a hate speech. This is a fact. And it's time that we start reclaiming the real knowledge of who we are so that we can fully understand we have an important role to play in the future of this world. I will talk more about that. But like I said, it's just to give you some information about who you are. I talked about Tuskegee experiment. Let me go back and do that now. Tuskegee experiment. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that. I just want to just show you, syphilis study. Right. So you can see it, so that picture, so that the people are not going to say, oh, I'm just, I've done this before, but I think it's worth showing again because a lot of people don't understand. And it has come out now that the similar thing has happened in South Africa. And we're hearing that the same thing under this scheme of trying to sort of polio eradication by a certain Bill Gates. that actually, with the connection with Epstein, they were trying to actually sterilize. So unless we begin to talk together collectively in our communities to deal with this, this will continue to happen. You see why we need our own social media place? We need our own media engine ourselves, run by us, so that the information that we are going to be sharing in our community is going to alert us to all of these dangers that are around us. These dangers that notice that what I'm talking to you about, none of it the Bible can solve. The Bible or the Quran has no solution to any of the problems I've been listing so far. Prove me wrong. So is the Bible useful to you? Who is the Bible useful to? Is it to blind you from what is really going on and make you believe in the false narrative while they do what they want to do to you and get away with it? Or is it meant to solve these problems? Can the Bible and the Quran solve any of these problems? Because in the Bible and the Quran, they even say, slave, obey thy master. How can that Bible help you? When they see you in that way, in the Quran, the same thing. You see, we need to know our story. We need to know about who we are, our spirituality as Africans and others as well. It's really important we understand this. Let's read on. It's painful. So you can see that guy smiling there. He's injecting, just look, he's injecting them with syphilis, with no intention of giving them the cure. That's how sick this is. You see the smile on his face? He's injecting them with something that he will never give them the cure. He will simply study them to see the effects on their body. That's what we face, and it's still happening now. That is why the men behind here, Ibrahim Traore, Asimi General Chani, they are saying no more. It's time we benefit from our own resources. We are not going to be treated like slaves on our own land anymore. Let's read on. 1932 to 1972, 40 years. 40 years of this. Tuskegee studies of untreated syphilis in the Negro male. So they deliberately didn't treat it. They injected them. Who's to say there's not more studies like that going on now as we speak? I'm sure there are more going on now. So, was a study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by United States Public Health. Now, the question I want to ask, have they been compensated? Many African leaders need to understand that the same format that they used with this Tuskegee experiment is what they are doing in Africa right now. Any agreement they sign with the US is going to follow the same pattern. Guinea pigs for their tests, for their experiments at our cost with no compensation. That is the reality of what we are saying. Let me read on a bit anyway. The purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated, to the point of death and autopsy. You see, this is how much disregard they have for the life of a melanated person. So to the point of death, although there had been effective treatment to reduce the severity of the disease since 1920s, the use of penicillin for treatment of syphilis was widespread as of 1945. The men were not informed of the nature of the study. You see, look. So we've come from the issue of what is going on with Iran, what they did in Iran, and we've come to this this issue here. The men were informed of the nature of the study. Proper treatment was withheld, and more than 100 died as a result. How many people have died due to the experiments that they've carried out now? Yet more countless reasons. Ebola experiment, monkeypox, all of this. How many more have been unalived? How many more? You know, I think it's worth asking that question. I'm showing you all of this so that we understand what has been done. Please tap on the screen, help us share the broadcast. You are, of course, listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please help us grow the platform. I'm going to show you the sign up link that I'd like you to join. It's on Facebook. I'll put the link up here if I can show it. But you know, the public health started in 1932. You know, and it says of this. Now it says here. Let me read this here. They targeted impoverished African American sharecroppers from Macomb County, Alabama. Of these men, 399 had latent syphilis with a group control of 200 men who were not infected. As an incentive for participation, these men were promised free medical care and promised funeral expenses, while the men were involved with both medical and mental care that they otherwise would not have received. They were deceived by the PHS, who never informed them of the syphilis diagnosis and provided disguised placebos, ineffective treatments, and diagnostic procedures such as lumbar punctures as a treatment for bad blood. These men were initially told the experiment was only to last for 6 months, but it was extended to 40 years. African leaders, please, everyone on this broadcast, share this with every African leader that's signing any deal, anything with the US. Just share this with them. From 6 months to 40 years and no compensation. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to read it anymore now. Because, yeah. And these are the people who are telling us, about morality, about decency, about democracy. Tell me which part of what has been happening, state-funded ill treatment of people, putting them in harm's way, which part of that is democratic? Which part of that is just? I'd like to know. I'd really like to know. But let me go. I'll pause for a minute. I'll pause from there. We just need to be aware. But let me show you my link. Oh, they want to block more strikes from Iran. Okay. From ordering more strikes on Iran. Exactly. Is it fair? I mean, this is what we're not even allowed to even speak about the morality of the decision. How can you go and bomb a is it okay to bomb a sovereign nation? Has anybody? Wow. I don't know. The whole thing is sickening beyond words. I'm going to the top here. Please, those of you watching, I'd like you to go onto my Citizen AY here. You can see this that I'm highlighting here. That is where you can sign up for the newsletter. It is ready. I've got send out to a few people. We need to send to more people because, like I said, we don't have any confidence in any of the social media platforms. We need our own social media platforms because we're not going to be flagged or suddenly, we can write what we want and say what we want on our own platforms without fear of being, controlled and all of that. So you can see on here. So just click on that. Go to Citizen AY on Facebook, and it's pinned on there. When you click on this is what you will see. You will see this come up, and you just simply sign this. Just leave your name, email, telephone number, submit, and I will then be able to send you the newsletter from there. So I'd really like your support in that way. Yeah, what I'm going to say right now. Sorry, I'm going to take that away. Goodness me. What I want to say in all of this is that I am so glad that the Iranians, they protect themselves. They are standing their ground. Look, I'm not Muslim. No, neither am I Christian. But one thing I do know is that under the international law, Iran is a sovereign nation. In fact, don't take my word for it. Let me do this. Let's do this so that let's do it together. So, is Iran a sovereign nation? Let's just type that. Let me just see, a sovereign nation. (1979). You see that? Iran became a sovereign nation in 1979. When you're a sovereign nation, nobody has the right to come and to destroy your nation repeatedly. Did you know the US sanctioned? Let me do this so that we're, US, for how long has the US sanctioned Iran? Ask questions. Has the US sanctioned Iran? Just asking a question. That's all I'm saying. Over 45 years. Now, which part of that is democratic? The United States has imposed sanctions on Iran for over 45 years, beginning in November 1979, following the decision of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and taking American notices. While specific restrictions have fluctuated, a continuous extension economic trade embargo has been in place since roughly 1995. Could U.S. withstand this kind of sanctioning? And not to talk of the bombing and all of that. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying it because many people will tell us, oh, they have a right to do it. You have no right, whether or not. Since North Korea has got nuclear weapons, has the US ever dared go to sanction them? Have they dared to go into the country to go and attack them? And what gives the US the right to go and attack countries around the world? Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, Libya, now Iran. 7 countries. General Wesley talked about it. 7 countries in 5 years was their attack, was their plan. What justification have they got to go and destabilize nations and cost millions and affect the lives of literally millions around the world and face zero consequences? Face zero consequences. And these are the people that will talk to us about morality, about democracy, about integrity. Really? Wow. It beggars belief. And that is why the only way, whatever they do now will just be going worse. The more they do, the more they expose themselves. They are doing this themselves. Nobody's helping. They're exposing themselves by themselves because the time is up on this nonsense. The time is truly up on this nonsense. And I hope many of us will learn and wake up. Like I said, don't get me wrong. Iran is not perfect. But who gives them the right? And how can it be right that a nation that has unalived 200,000 people is pointing to another nation and saying that, oh, they're the wrong ones? And nobody, they've not been sanctioned. None of the officials are sanctioned. Again, it's that mentality. We are above the law. We are above the world law. I, for one, would highly recommend to do that. Many African nations do exactly what Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are doing. They are pulling out of all of these bodies, ineffective bodies, because they're stooges to the colonial structures. That's all they are. But anyway, right, that's enough from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found it beneficial. I am really most pleased that Iran spoke their truth and we shared what they spoke about. It is only fair. I mean, it's only fair that they do not accept injustice. You know, it is only fair that they stood up for themselves, because in the end, they've been they've been sanctioned. Lives of many people, have been impacted. They've been prevented from benefiting from their own resources, and who gives the U.S. that right to do that to any country? If that was done to the U.S. would have gone to war with that country. If that was something that was done to U.S. by any other country, wouldn't the U.S. have gone to war? I ask, would they not have gone to war? Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Swagger. Okay, if I didn't have black American, yes. So I want to just be Keita. Thank you very much for joining. I do welcome gifts as you're watching. Thank you for those of you that gifted this platform thus far, and we welcome yet more support from you. Consider subscribing to us. We do need there's a lot of work to do. Being Benny blessed. Okay, what did you not do, my brother? Thank you. Yes, thank you. So I'm so glad so many people are joining the broadcast and leaving comments on YouTube. Please do subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. If you can't do it tonight, share my broadcast with people that you know. We endeavor on this platform to raise awareness. Citizen AY is a platform where we speak truth to power. We endeavor to only speak truth on here. We explore, research. If we get it wrong, we will come back and say, we'll apologize. No, that's not quite the case. And we openly, freely admit that and try and correct whenever we err. Nobody's perfect. But what we want to do is we are a platform that is here solely to ensure that we tell African stories and Black American stories from our melanated perspective. For too long, the perspective that has been forced on us has been those who colonized us. They cannot speak for us. I will not attempt to speak for an European. I am not European. I will not attempt to interpret their thinking. But I will not accept either somebody who doesn't know my story to be telling me how I should feel, how I should react, what I should do, because that is actually psychologically negatively impacting my psyche, and that I reject wholeheartedly. So this platform is really engaged, with trying to really re-engineering our mind, because everything that we've gone through has negatively impacted us, and it's made us feel less than. And I've been showing you a few things that you've seen on here that shows us that there is more to us than we even know. And in fact, it can be argued that a lot of what we're watching, a lot of the things that we've watched, that we've been brainwashed into, is actually negatively impacting us. And we need to do the work. We need more platforms like ours where we will talk about things, where we'll exchange ideas and learn who we are and spread that knowledge to the coming generation so they can have a better quality of life on the African continent. I'm really grateful for you joining me tonight. I'm going to have a break now. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll be doing. I have a sister platform, Moduduwa TV Radio, where I speak only Yoruba. And I strongly, firmly believe that on the African continent, ultimately the goal is for us to only speak African language, because that is the language of our ancestors. And of course, I'm sure there are some African, some Native Americans who will also get their language back through connection, because it's in the DNA. I hope you find this beneficial. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to bring this broadcast to an end. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Citizen AY. Just tap on the screen on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Consider subscribing to us on a monthly basis on TikTok. Don't forget, go ahead and sign up. You see on the screen the blue tick there. You can take a screenshot of it and sign up, or go to the Citizen AY page on Facebook and then go and click on it. That way it will come up for you as well, for this to sign up. What's left for me to say is thank you so very much, and thank you. Please do. We welcome gifts from you guys, and we welcome your support. I'll be back again real soon. Sorry, I see. I know what happened there. It was I was looking at different things, and I was like, what the? Sorry about that. And clearly, sometimes you do get a bit. So that's better, much better. So thank you so very much. Thank you for joining. I'll be back later on. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth. But I want to thank Waris Jinadu. I want to thank Bantu Queen. I want to thank Osagi, Godfrey Osagi, and many others. Please share our broadcast. Help us with more people. Thank you for watching. You've been listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth. I'll be back real soon. You take care, and bye for now. Bye, guys. Bye, all. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Okay. Eshegonio, Bantu Queen, thank you so much. Godfrey Asage, thank you very much. Waris Janadu, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you all. Please do share the broadcast. Sign up. Share the broadcast to reach more people. Yeah, thank you very much. Bye now. Talk later. Bye.